Hey, hi everyone, this is Desiree Dalisay, and for today, this will be the last statistical test under this series of tutorial. So, I will be sharing with you what I know about Way ANOVA. So, Way ANOVA is the extension of t-test of independent means, wherein we wanted to know if there is significant differences or significant difference between three or more groups or more than two groups. So if you have um, two or more groups, it is better, three or more groups, it's better to use ANOVA than t-test. Of course, t-test is for two sets of groups only. Now we have here, my example is about um, the performance, for example, the performance of students under online classes, under modular classes, and under both. So in a public school, you can actually have both of them. So you can attend online classes as well as you can have modules. So that's why I included both. So in this case, we have three independent groups. So we are going to test whether they have differences or if their mean is actually it actually tests the same um concept with t-tests. It's just that we have three groups. You can also use this this is very useful, for example, in STEM for experiments, whether you wanted to know if a certain fertilizer or call this fertilizer A, fertilizer B, fertilizer C, which among those three is the most effective one. You can also use that test. Okay, so now let's start. Just click on data analysis and you look for ANOVA. So we have here ANOVA single factor. So we have this is Way ANOVA, and just click OK. And we have input range. So you just have this. So you highlight everything and you group by, you make sure that they are grouped according to columns, or it depends upon you, or according to rows. But in this case, this is a group according to columns. You check labels in first row so that when it reports or when it created its data in a table, you already have labels there. Check the output range. I wanted to have the output here. Oh, wait, let me just have it again. So you have here, and the output range will be here. So you check this part because there are some times that I actually didn't see that I changed the input range. Okay, and now you just click OK. Now we already have the value. Okay, it's very easy to compute now using Excel, but what's very important is you know how to interpret it. So we have 12 students. So this is the sample size, but technically the total is we have 36, right? 36. And we have the sum and the average. You can use this data in reporting the sample that you have, but make sure that when you report your mean, you will also have your standard deviation. You can just get the square root of this one. It's the standard deviation. Okay, now this is the sum, so you can have it between groups and within groups. And between groups, the degrees of freedom is n minus 1. So that is 3 minus 1. We have 3 groups minus 1. And for within groups, that is the sample size in each group, which is, actually, this is k minus 1. Or you can have k as the number of groups. And we have n, which is the sample size. So that is n minus 3 because we have 3 groups, right? So in each group, one variable or one element is free to vary. That's why it's n minus 3. So if you have 4 groups, then it's n minus 4. Okay, so we have the f value. So what is important is the f value, p value, and f crit. Okay, so as you can see here, if you're going to compare the f value or the computed value for f and the critical value for f, if you were gonna draw that using a normal curve, you can see that this is in the area of acceptance because the critical value for f is 3.28, and it's very, what do you call this, it creates a very small area. So technically 0.91 or 0.907 is inside the acceptance region. Same goes with the p-value. It's very large. Okay, so now we have, you can report it as the three groups, or the mean, but you can have the mean of the three groups is statistically similar, or yes, statistically similar, meaning even though the scores are different, they just perform, or they just have the same performance. Okay, okay, naman you can have the, what do you call this, the mode of instruction does not give any significant difference to students' performance. So it doesn't matter what, let me just fix this one. It doesn't matter what um mode you chose, you will just perform the same according to this set of sample. Okay, now let's try having it. Let me just rename this. By the way, I'm going to share this Excel file with you so that you can have a basis. So this is Way ANOVA. Okay, so now let's have the calculator so that you can have choices. Okay, so in this one, you just have way calculator for independent measures. Independent measures meaning you have groups, independent groups. Okay, let me just copy the values. If you're very sure of your statistical treatment, you will not have any problem as to how to compute it. If you know how to use this how this online calculator, you will not have any problem. Then let's have calculate. So it has the summary of data similar to our table in Excel. So if you have problems with Excel, you can have this. Okay, so we have the same. So the F ratio is 0.91, the p-value is 0.41. The result is not significant at 0.05. So p less than 0.05. So you can see it's not significant. So same goes with the one that we have a while ago. Okay, so if you wanted to what do you call this, if you wanted to have a template, you can just search for the website of APA and just see there how to report the results of Way ANOVA, so that you can just, actually you can use it as a reference or template. Then just, of course, you will be changing the variables there and the values and the interpretation. Of course, you will be reporting how to actually what is the implication of that, and the effects, or the what do you call this, the explanation behind why it is not significant. For example, do you lack sample size? So there are a lot of factors. Okay, so you can just explore how to report your findings. And also, I think I'll be having a video about how to write your chapter 4 and chapter 5. So in chapter 4, there are a lot of things you need to know. Okay, so I think that's it for today's video, and I hope that you learned something from me. If you have questions, kindly just comment down below. And for my students, if you have questions, can just message me. Okay, so that's it. Bye.